The president says,
no collusion, no obstruction.
well, tell that to the 37 people who were indicted, the 6 different people who have pled guilty, the 500 people who were subjects of search warrants, or the 2,800 individuals who were served with subpoenas. This may have been a lot of things, but the last thing that it was no collusion and no obstruction. One of the main takeaways that I have from the Mueller report is the number of contacts, and just the multiplicity of contacts that the president, his family, his businesses, his campaign had with the Russians. At every turn, there was a Russian and there was someone on the Trump team. Literally, the transition window is probably 2 months, and they found a way to work with Russians in that short 2 months. The Russians wanted to help him, they wanted to take their help. Where I come from, that's colluding. I accept that under our legal system, that cannot be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. I also accept that prior Congresses did not have the imagination that people would act this way, so they didn't write laws to prevent people from acting this way. This president has been described by the Mueller report as a double-digit obstructor. 10 different instances he obstructed justice. In America, you are not rewarded if you are able to bury the evidence of your conduct so deep that we can't find it. You don't get off scot-free. That's why we have obstruction of justice crimes. Nowhere in the report did it say, by the way, all these Trump-Russia links, they've stopped. So what assurances can he give us that this is not ongoing activities? Act 1 is over. Act 2 is mostly going to be, what does Congress do about this? What are we going to do to make sure the president is held accountable and never obstructs in this way again? We want to see the full report. 12% of it has been withheld, and we want to hear from Bob Mueller. I don't think anyone else's word will be taken on this other than Bob Mueller's. It's important that we have him under oath, tells the story to the American people about who the Trump team worked with and what the president did to obstruct the investigation. Because if this campaign thinks that, well, we weren't charged with the crime, we can keep doing what we're doing, that's not good for our country. There's still, outside of the Mueller report, a lot we have to know about this president in Russia. We need to know about his financial relationships. The Mueller report didn't go into that at all. Who has been lending him money when no one else was lending him money? We should know what he said to Vladimir Putin when he kicked everyone out of the room except his interpreter whose notes he took. We should know whether there are any further promises that this president has made to Vladimir Putin. The day after Nixon, it was the Watergate era of reforms. And so they put in reforms on campaign finance. They put in reforms on the intelligence community and all the abuses that they saw there. We're going to have a day after Trump in America. We're going to have to fix the corruption, the graft, the nepotism that he has put into our democracy, that the vulnerabilities he's exposed. We're going to have to reform those. Impeachment is still on the table for House Democrats, and I certainly have not been shy since the very beginning of this interference campaign. Doing nothing will set a standard for future presidents that this kind of conduct is okay. Doing nothing is not an option.